Chapter 6, Secret 7. Give, and it shall be given to you.
I've read just about everything that has come down the pike concerning how to achieve success in the business world. And apart from taking you through the steps of how to take an idea through its initial phases of planning and marketing and things of that nature, the success literature written by many wealthy people usually include a chapter about giving. Most successful and wealthy people remain that way because they learned early in their lives, whether they knew it or not, the biblical principles of sowing and reaping. Many of them practice the principle of tithing, the giving away of 10% of one's income to a charity, church, or other social organization. Now, the principle of sowing and reaping is a universal spiritual principle, and it will work regardless of anyone's religious affiliation. This means that a Hindu, Buddhist, or even a businessman with no religious affiliation will reap a financial harvest if he incorporates the principle of giving into his personal and his business life. This might not seem fair to some of you who believe that your faith in Christ should give you the upper hand or the advantage over those who are not Christians. But the principle of sowing and reaping is a universal spiritual principle. It's not a religious principle. If financial success was built on the principles of morality, where only good-hearted people got rich, the world might indeed be better off, but that is not the way it is. Achieving financial success has more to do with things like developing a sound business plan, market research, advertising, tenacity, networking, and much more. And the immoral person who focuses in on all these other things with the attitude that he will also be a giver will stand a better chance at achieving his goals than the moral person who does not put forth the same effort. Jesus once said, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?" Matthew 8:36. Now this verse tells us that it is possible to become financially successful apart from living a morally clean, if there is such a thing, life. The fact still remains that the rich and wealthy, and there is a difference, have learned how to become givers. All of them could easily hide their money in a variety of ways and say to hell with helping anybody else. But most of them don't, because to do so would bring financial disaster into their lives. Many people who fit the multi-millionaire and billionaire status are philanthropists and donate large sums of money to needy persons or institutions. Now, true philanthropists have a concern for human beings, and they give because they are concerned about the advancement of humanity. In short, contrary to what we have always heard about the rich, not all of them are greedy swindlers or manipulators. Some of them are, but those who are still know about the principles of sowing and reaping. They know that they did not get to the place where they are without the aid of someone else who gave them the information or provided them with the connection they needed to help them become successful. If you like, just replace the term sowing and reaping or tithing with the word investing, because they really are identical. In the business sense, investing simply means to put money into a business, a stock, a bond, real estate, or other fund with the sole purpose of earning a profit or an income. Like the farmer who sows his seed into the ground with the expectation of producing a crop, the investor puts his money into that which he believes will bring him a financial harvest. Financially successful people did not become financially successful on their own. They could not have gotten to the top rung of the ladder without the aid of someone extending down to them a helping hand, or someone on the ground that held the ladder steady so they wouldn't fall. The law of the harvest is applicable for all relationships. While you are on this journey, make it a goal to sow something into the life of someone else. This is crucial for all men, but especially for black men. Now, why do I say this? The reasons are obvious and require no need for a historical account of the black man in America. I will only say what you already know, that no other group of people living inside the United States have had to come through what we've been through. And since poverty helped shape the culture and the mindset of many African Americans, many black men still have a poverty mentality. A person with a poverty mentality will live his life from a mindset of scarcity. He sees the world as having limited resources, and because he sees the world from this perspective, he will only seek to get his and leave other people to get theirs. Now, other black men who possess a poverty mentality never try to accomplish anything. They never get in the race. They are so beaten down in their minds that it is impossible for them to hear anything anyone else says to them. If you try to tell them that they were uniquely created for a specific purpose, they will look at you like you are crazy, and then they will give you 1,000 different excuses for not trying to better their lives. These are they who will tell you that they are happy for you, but inside they only wish that they had your tenacity for trying to make something of yourself. People who possess a poverty mentality are also the type of individuals who sell bootleg CDs and movies from the trunk of their car. They will tell you that they're just hustling, but what they really are doing is stealing money from the creators and the owners of intellectual property. In reality, these hustlers are nothing more than ghetto entrepreneurs who operate in an underground economic system. Ghetto entrepreneurs are the primary holders of the poverty mentality. They do not care about stealing because they have convinced themselves that there's nothing wrong with their behavior. After all, everybody does it. Because these people are lazy, greedy, and selfish, these ghetto entrepreneurs want to keep everything they earn without setting up a legal business structure. They don't want to put in the same time and effort to make their business legitimate, and they most certainly don't want to pay taxes. Anyway, they figure that the government takes enough of their money already, so they are not about to give back anything to them. Now, they could easily set up a business that specializes in selling used media products, but this requires time, energy, and imagination, and they are not about to stretch themselves to see where a little hard work will take them. But they haven't got a clue of how detrimental their behavior is to the economy. They don't realize that the companies they steal from will only pass the loss of revenues on to consumers who purchase the product legitimately. They don't realize that the selling of bootleg products carries the consequence and the possibility of affecting the jobs of thousands of warehouse workers who are employed as the packers and the shippers of these products. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that most of the people who stand to be affected by the behavior of these ghetto enterprises are hard-working black people who are probably working 2 jobs just to put food on the table and a roof over their head.